All right, we should be live. Won't be many of you guys in here, but I think we should be good to go. We'll try to go live for about an hour, so we'll go to about 10 or so. Let's see if we can get a short position right in here. My entry is probably spot on. Could be a little low. I'm liking this 3-2 level right here, 8-3-2 level. See if we can get a touch here and roll back. We're kind of bottoming off of these lows, so see what we can get. I did take a trade off of one of these lows. That was pretty decent, but we'll see what this one gives us. See what this one gives us. Close. Wow, I can't believe that didn't get filled. That sucks. Wow. Nice little pullback there. Almost a 10-point pullback. Sheesh. Okay, there we go. Blasted through. Let's see, we're in a sell, click buy. All right, let's see if we can get this one to kind of pull back for us. Did I jump in front of some news? I must have. All right, we lost 20 bucks on that one. Oh, we could have made money on that. I got in front of some news and it worked out for us perfectly, but I got in front of some news. That was stupid. Frick. All right, so we're down 20 bucks or $18, even though we would have won that trade had I held on to it. I did not expect that to run up. Well, that was interesting. All right. That sucks. All right, so we did peak out though. Let's try it. We'll try this 8-9 once. We'll try this level one time. We'll see if price can get back up to this high, and we'll touch it once. And I can't believe that didn't fill. That's crazy. There we go. There we go. That's a $1.50 on that one. There we go. Good trade there. I don't really want to keep threatening that same level. I'm going to go 41 here as a sell. So we'll go sell, and I'll move that to like 41. This is dangerous again, but price touches this area right here. And we've had a couple transactions here now. And so I just want to be cautious with it, but I kind of like this spot here. Obviously our volume gap level is at 46, about 5 points away, but being just a little bit more aggressive with that. Being a little more aggressive with that. All right, let's see what we got here. I kind of like a buy down here at this 12 level. Let me move this one up. 12. Kind of right at the bottom of this red one, top of this green one. I like a buy here. I don't love a sell at these levels up here, but let's see if we can get a touch and pull back. I know price wants to recapture some of this movement down here that happened, or up here, I guess that happened. So we'll see. But I like, let me see, make sure you guys can see my screen. Okay, cool. I like this level in here to kind of go short off of. Even if we're wrong, we'll be early by about 7 or 8 points, so not much. But I like that level as far as one that I think we could get price to bounce off of and come back down. And hopefully we can just range in here for a minute. And we'll see what happens with it. Okay. and we'll wait. All right. So what I'm looking at when I'm trading these specifically is obviously we have our value area right in here. So here, and for right now, at least in here. So I'm thinking price doesn't really want to leave. My entry is right at this 41 level, so it's right at this node here. So I'm right outside the value area. We have seen 2 candles kind of break into this before pushing back, so we have seen that. But I just don't know if placing an entry at 46 would get filled. I don't know if I were to place an entry up here that I'd get that fill in a reasonable time. So I'm looking for maybe a push, what is that, 2 points maybe? A point and a half above these highs and then a pullback. That's kind of what I'm banking on. But if price starts to really go strong, I'll cancel these orders and I'll just wait because we didn't see any resistance in here. So this could be tricky. Like if price were to start running up in here, we'd probably just need to wait and hang out and see what happens and kind of let price reset. Maybe look for some buys at these lower levels and push. So we'll just wait for a second, but this is kind of what I'm looking at. Sell at 41, buy at 12 is what I'm sitting at right now. So we will see. If you guys have questions, you can put them in the Discord or in the YouTube chat. I really don't care. I can see both, and aren't that many of you guys, so it won't be that big of a deal. However, I think you guys have to let me know what you're thinking when it comes to some different like coaching or things like that. We'll have to work through that and just kind of see what makes sense. But you just have to let me know. I'm going to put this together kind of on the fly a little bit, but it's really not that hard to understand. It's the concept that's really important. Once you get that, everything else falls in line. All right, so now this is the kind of movement that maybe I do want to go. I'll go one here at this level. I'm going to sell one right there. I'm going to sell one up here too. So let's go back to that. What level is that? Let's go 440 even right there. Okay, so before this candle, it was looking like price went up here and then kind of settled down. And anytime price really settles, we're going to get a big move. It doesn't really matter which way, but you're going to get one. And so I see price kind of huddling in this little region right here, pretty much between this line and this line. It's like, all right, if price is going to sit here and hang out, then something's going to pop. And it popped down, but I assumed it pop up. So if it did pop up, we'd get a touch. What I don't want to do is put all my eggs right here, and then price runs a little bit further, then pulls back. I really didn't want to see that. And so that's why I added a second one up here. But I kind of assume that if we touch this level, we're probably going to pull back into this 35, and I'll take $100 on that trade if we were to get about a 5-point move. That'd be pretty easy. But I got my entry down here. I don't know if we're going to get this one, but we'll see. I like this range though. We have the chance at going to 07, which is 5 points, and I don't know if it'd be realistic, but and 95, which would be 15 points from, or 17 points from where I am right now. So we'll kind of just see where this leads us. I'm not sure yet. Is there change settings I need to do for yeah, Ben, go, good question, Ben. Go to volume gaps, and I need to put this in the chat too, but I'll take a screenshot of it on my, make it yours 10, so 3, 10, 10, 50, 20, and then 45. You can do value area 45. So they're the settings there. Sorry about that. I'll put that in the chat here. I put that in the video, but I didn't post it in the chat. So let me go do that really quick. Let's see if we get one here. A little entry coming. Okay. Close, but nothing. Okay, close here. Let's see what we got. This is kind of what I was thinking before, is that we would get, all right, so we're going to sell here. We'll go ahead and trail this one by buy. All right. There we go. All right, just under 100 bucks on that trade, not bad. They're up 200 bucks in this account. Good spot there. Good spot. Yo, Chris, what's going on? What's good, what's good? You guys are welcome. You guys are welcome. It'll just be the 4 of us, I guess. Max. I guess if somebody else wants to join later on, maybe they can. We'll see. I'm not too, I don't need to be too aggressive on that. I appreciate you guys having a leap of faith and jumping in. All right. All good, beast. All good. We're up about 400 bucks today, 200 bucks in this account, and then I have another account that I was at 200 bucks in before I went live. I took that trade, just kind of let it sit, so we'll see. We'll use this account more so today. We'll see if we can run up to about 500 bucks or so. That'd be cool. We'll go for about an hour. That should give us enough time to catch enough trades and hit the spots we need to hit. All right, so here's I'll move this 47, I think, but it might be in the right spot already. Actually, it's already in the right spot. Okay, so left side here, make sure you guys can see that. We have, so value area here, right? So this is where most transactions happen. Price wants to be in here right now. And I made the value area pretty tight because I want to have not a lot of entries, but a fair amount of entries. And so this is the value area. We know price wants to stay inside of here. It's going to break out and it might reset a new value area. It might, but it might just break out and push back down. Now, I have been placing my entries kind of at this 40 level, which is what happened with this candle here. And you know what? I might just go another sell right here just because we're kind of already right here. But I'll put a sell at this 40 level. But this level, these two levels over here, so kind of between 40, what is that, 42 and 47, we haven't seen a lot of transactions up here. We saw price obviously blasted through. That was just off of straight up momentum. Price pushes up and reverses down immediately off of that. So that's interesting. So we have seen something in here, but not a ton. We're in this trade now. Let's go ahead and hit let's see. We'll go buy one up here. Might have to cancel this one. Let's see if this one gets hit. See what happens. I think we're gonna get into this one. Maybe not. Let's see what we got here. There we go. We need to buy 2. Okay. Might be aggressive with my stop here if I can. Oh, shoot. Okay, we're still at 40 bucks, but we gave back about 130. All right. Okay, so this is kind of what I was afraid of. I didn't think that we would get price to splurge this fast, but happens. So now I really don't want to step in front of this here at all, but I kind of like, let's see. I didn't, I knew that had the chance to happen, which is price kind of, it's making this move from the bottom up to push like this, but happens. So we went 2 contracts there, one at basically 40-ish, and then one at 47, I think it was. And price really never gave us a whole lot, or maybe the 47 was a little bit lower, but price didn't give us a ton. Now I don't want to take a sell into this, right? I don't want to try and put a spot like, even the 60 level, even if price were to get up here, we'd be playing with fire. Like we have this huge momentum. Like we don't necessarily want to try and step in front of this and guess and hope that this is the top and we're going to pull back. All right, we've been pretty flat, even though we had a couple pops here. We've been pretty flat to this point. And so these trades over here made sense, trading into this 40 level. But trying to step in front of this, okay, price is obviously moving up now. We'd be better off looking for buys, so maybe even like an entry at 40, so like a buy right here. We go like, not 2, but 1. We could try a 1 here at this 40 level and see if price will bounce and continue its move up. We can try that. Let's move this out of the way. But selling up here is going to be pretty difficult because price just made this new upward move. We're kind of establishing that, hey, maybe price is going to stay in this 48 to 50 level rather than this 30 level. So we'll see. Let's see what price wants to do here. If this is going to be like a 3 candle push back down into value area, or if we're going to make a new value area up here eventually. Let's see. I'm going to go 1 for right now. We'll just see kind of how this one plays out. I'm hoping for a touch and a pullback, but we'll see. We will see. Close. There it is. All right, so we're going to buy, click sell. 7-point stop here. Let's see. Might have jumped in front of a speeding bullet here. Let's see what we got. Okay. Yeah, tough one here. I thought price might bounce at this and continue to move up. I don't know if that's going to happen. Trying to move my stop, but it didn't get placed. Okay. Wow. All right. Okay, back up $100. So $60 trade there, 3 points essentially on that one. Not great, but solid. All right, now I've got enough evidence. I think that if I were to place a sell somewhere up here, we might bounce off of this. Like we might. So I'm going to go at, let's go 54 on that one, which is basically right above this high. I don't know if I love this one, but I do know that I like buying down here. This was money for us, kind of right here. I'll move it down a little bit. So looking at this, it's right outside value area. Really, this 41 level is the one, but I'm going to give it about 5 points. Now let's see if we can bounce off of this level again and ride it back up and see if we can stay in here. So I'm banking on this upward momentum here continuing, but price dipping down, hitting my level, maybe even a little lower, and then returning back to the upside. That's kind of what I'm thinking here, but we'll see what actually happens. Price could just blitz back down, and it is what it is. All right, so we're in the trade here. Bounce. Okay, nice. Whoa. Nice. Okay, good. We're up $200 again, right back where we were 2 trades later. All right, so super solid spot there as well. So again, looking, and like you can see the EMA lines kind of look like they are holding it, but that's not really what we wanted. I'll buy this one again, honestly, if it hits it. Let me see. I'm gonna go down a little bit lower. No way, you didn't fill. No way. I should have held. Would have been a small trade, but I should have held. I'm gonna go a little lower now. So right outside value area here. There it is. Seven-point stop. Price, if we get green, I'll have to take it. This was a gutsy trade. I'm basically trading inside of the value area, so not wise. Okay. Here we get some more to that one. All right, we're up $72 for today. Okay, that was a boneheaded trade. We shouldn't have taken that one. However, down here makes more sense. 16. Let's go a little lower with that. Right in here. All right. So not the smoothest of trades right there. We should have just been happy with that one. Honestly, we had a chance. Had we had our entry at this level or a little bit, we would have had at least one trade we could have hit and made money on. We just didn't. So, we missed a trade and ended up losing a trade. That stinks. So going to buys right outside value area here, kind of in this 16 level, and I could probably move it down a little bit. Maybe more like, yeah, here we go. 18. All right, so let's move it up a little bit. Whoa. Okay, price flicks down. I don't know where VWAP is. Let me see where that is. Oh, it's okay. That makes sense. We reversed off of VWAP. That makes sense. VWAP right here. Fine. So value area shifted. We have some selling up here. So price gets up here, we sell. That's fine. I like, well, since we're at VWAP, I like this area up here to sell at because price was already there. I don't think we're going to get anything more up there as well. What does that mean? cool. Well, all right, here we go. Yeah, I missed that one by a tick. I missed that one by a smidge. It like shot down on me, and then we were short by a point. Probably should have been a little bit more aggressive, but it is what it is. So our value area is here, which is pretty small for kind of what we've been trading. And for these candles, basically 2 candles is the whole value area. Okay. Now I'm not looking to go short right here. We've seen a lot of transactions in this area. I guess I could place a sell right there. This would be really aggressive. Oh shoot, I did not mean to do that. Well, deal with it. Let's see if we can. That was a complete accident. We'll make a couple bucks on this one though. All right. That did not mean to do that. I think placing a sell somewhere right at this level could be a spot. I don't know if I love it, but let's see. So 39. Yeah, I'm probably on the right spot here. Outside a value area, top of this node right here, we haven't seen too many candles actually play with these levels. And so we'll see kind of what price wants to do, but putting a sell right there wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. Just see where it gets us. Okay. This could be interesting for sure. This could be fascinating. Looks like price really wants to come down, and so we're kind of in front of that. And so let's see if we get some profit here. I'll probably have to slide my stop and be aggressive with it. Ah, that was my chance. We're out of that one. Up a few bucks. I didn't love this entry at all. I slid it so that we got profitable, but I don't love it at all. I really think that maybe one of these levels down here. Let's go 08. Let's go buy at 08, which is a little higher, which actually would have got filled already. I'm looking at this spot in here. So previous low was in here. I'm looking at this node over here at this 07, 08 level could be one that we bounce off of, and really looks like my entry was delayed. I just missed it. Had I had it, we'd have been in good shape. But I do want to put another buy down here as well. We're back down to these lows at this 94. Could make sense for us. Value area shifted a little bit. Okay, we're running away. So my entry would have been perfect had I had it there in time, but I did. All right. Okay, not a lot of trading in this spot here. VWAP at 46, way up there. Okay. Sorry, Chris, I didn't see that. Yes, 9 and 21. 9 and 21. Yes, I believe. Well, let me check on this one as well. Yep, 921 on both. Well, I guess just on the trade rate chart. Well, I like a sell at 39, 40. Yeah, I like this spot better. Let's get rid of these drawings. This is interesting because we're kind of flat. It's just a little more rangy than I would like, but we are pretty flat though. Haven't really made a new high since whatever this was, 46. I mean, we danced up here for a second and then pulled back. So not a lot. Like, we've been pretty sideways, which is good. See kind of where price wants to take us from here. Yeah, so EMAs, so VWAP, I just like to know where it is. And I don't really care too much about VWAP, but I know that, like, had I, honestly, truly, I got blown out of a trade up here because I went short. So I went short, I think, twice right here. And the third time, or maybe it was once, and the second time, we blasted through and we lost a trade here. Had I seen VWAP up here, I probably wouldn't have taken either one of those trades, thinking that price might want to just push to it. Maybe just a second, I don't know. But VWAP, just having it there, we know where price might be wanting to go if it's within 15, 20 points. If price is rampaging up, we know, okay, we're going to look at a VWAP touch. Or if it's rampaging down, we know price could be looking to hit VWAP pretty quick. So that's one. The EMAs really help to see like which direction we should be looking for trades. So we really should be looking for shorts, but there isn't a whole lot that we can short off of right now because price is pretty sideways. But when I look at these EMAs, it just helps me see which way price might be looking to go outside of just this sideways range. So that's why I have two entries down here that are actually somewhat tight to each other, because I know price maybe wants to come down just based on previous price action. So I could be looking for buys, but there really isn't a whole lot we can do unless price pops up about 20 points, 25 points. So they don't play a huge determination in my trades. I don't look at them as support and resistance, or I don't really look for bounces either, although it does line up at times. It's not really what I'm into. I just know that there are a ton of transactions, and that's what I'm looking at. Let's see, my entry's at 10. That's about right. That's about right. So hopefully that helps. It's really just there to see it visually. I don't have it on my trading view because it would be a lot with all of this to look at, but it just helps visually. Like, I should have been looking for longs in here, but if there aren't, this isn't the best example of it, but we really had no, I think I did take a long. I lost one of these trades, but I won one of them too off of this move right here, but price has already come back down. What are our stats for today? 7 wins, 4 losses, 63%. We had a couple of boneheaded trades that we just didn't need to take, but it happens. It happens. All right, so 14 is a level. But I'm not waiting for price to break out of here or break down to here, because I kind of feel like if we do get that move down, it could be a huge momentum move, right? So if price were to break quickly, I probably cancel this trade and then like this order right here, and then I go ahead and enter and just try to close out this sell position if I can. Probably don't want to play with this level. But if price kind of is dancing its way, then I will. Same thing up here. Price rocket ships up, probably canceling this order and just playing and trying to safely close this one. But we have basically all the transactions are happening right outside value area right here, and in value area, which makes sense. So like kind of like these two. So 38 is probably too aggressive. 40 makes more sense. So hopefully seeing where my entries are makes a ton of sense here. Okay. All right, so you got price making a push. I'm at 54. Yeah, this one would be an interesting trade. This 54 level up here, if price got past VWAP and up to this level, we could see a nice pullback. Let's see what we get here. So my entry's at 40. I'm 5 points ahead of VWAP. So here we go. Buy. Let's see if we can get a pullback here on price. Might have been the chance. Okay, nothing there. Kind of got out of that one a little quick, but we'll see what this candle does. So basically a touch at VWAP, which is kind of what I was thinking when I saw this candle, but okay, fine. Now let's see if, I think this 54 level is about right. Let's see if this candle, it'd have to go pretty fast, can touch this level. If that happens, we would get a nice pullback, I think. We'd be at low transaction levels and barely over VWAP. Now this entry was pretty sweet. It just took a while and I was not looking to play with it. Could have made about $100 on that trade. That'd have been nice. That'd have been nice. Yeah, this wasn't my favorite trade of all time, honestly. I got a little nervous with VWAP being right there. I thought price might push beyond and start entertaining this 54 level entry. And I got out too fast. But now I know. Okay. So I do expect price to roll back into this, but we'll see what happens. So now we could be aggressive and go along at 17, which would be like right in here. And the reason for that is we have a value area low, we have lower nodes down here. That could make sense. I still like sitting at this 07 level. It's a little bit more conservative, but we might be a really good entry if we could play with something around here. Maybe a little higher. I'm gonna be cautious with it, considering we could have made a ton on this trade right here. We just didn't. Okay. Don't want to use the value area as support or resistance. I've tried it a couple times. I've won some, lost some. It hasn't really been a consistent win for me. So we don't want to look at like this value area level, like right here, this one. We don't want to say, hey, like we should go long at this level. It doesn't really mean a ton, and we're preventing price from going back to where it wants to be. Like that's not a great strategy. So we don't want to use it like that. But we know price wants to be in here. I see price wants to go up. But there just isn't a clean entry anywhere until you get price down here. So we'll just have to hang out for a second. Okay. If price hangs out in here a little bit more, we're going to get value area to shift up, I think. So we'll see kind of what that looks like. This would be an aggressive trade, but maybe going short around that 41 level. So like right here. I don't love it because we have a ton of action here, so I'm not going to do it. But as an idea, so lower volume nodes, which not lower by much. But basically we have a built-in support resistance line at VWAP. And so price could push down off of that. I'm going to keep my entry way up here at 53. But 45 could be a spot too where we look at it and we say, okay, Let's try and go short off of that, and then we would have a natural 10-point stop at that previous high. As price begins to transact a little more, especially up in here, if we can around that 38 to 32 level, if we can get price up there, then we'll have lower nodes down here in comparison, and that will give us a chance to maybe go long off of it at this 19 level-ish right now. Right now it's too much competition, too many trades happening in this area for us to do that. We still need to wait for that 12 level or even lower, so that's why we're at 07 right here. But this looks like a pretty good spot to go sell off of. So I'm going to keep that spot there. Long at 16. You could go long at 16. My fear with that is we have kind of a 9-point drop or an 11-point drop here, 9-point drop. We've seen price go this low before. And so I'd rather use this at 07. I'd rather use this level. It's a lower node than the 16. But I think the 16 could be pretty good. I just don't know how it's going to react. So I'm being a little bit more cautious with this, seeing as price really isn't doing a whole lot. But you could. I'm just not going to be that aggressive right now with this one. I'm going to wait. But 16 could work. Could work. That would be one where you could just toss like a contract or two there, especially if you're trading micros, and just see how it works out. But man, I don't love it, but it could bounce. So when you see price like going like this, we've got multiple red candles in a row. Like I don't want to try and step in front of that because price will do its thing and it will flick down. You'll get into your trade, it'll push down further, then pull up, and depending on how tight your stop is, it could get hit pretty quick. So we got like a nice push down here. I really don't want to take a buy until I see price get real low. So that's kind of why I have this 07 in here. Or it settles down, we get some green candles in here, and we go sideways for a second. That would make sense to me. But trying to step in front of this right now, no, I don't love it. Yeah, these nodes are really, really heavy. Even though they're not as high as these, it's pretty close. Yeah. So just being a little more conservative right now. But that could change though. Once we see price really settle, that could change. Okay, here goes price again. I have a feeling that 16 level will get hit. I just don't, I mean, it might bounce perfectly. I just don't know if I want to be on a trade for that one. So here's the 16 level. Price got close. 16 and a half. Let's see what price wants to do here. Okay, you'd be in the trade. We'd be roughing it. Yeah, and that is exactly what I mean. Is why I wanted to go a little deeper. And let's see if I can get this 07 to get hit. A few points out. We're 3 points out. We were at least. But that's essentially why. So even though this technically is now profitable, and that there it goes, boom, boom, boom. My entry down here is a little too loose, and the 16 would have worked out. We just had to deal with a ton of drawdown first before price actually reversed back up. So that would have worked out. It just wouldn't have been clean. But my 07 was too loose, so I missed out on this. Would have been a fantastic trade by being a little too conservative. So we missed it, but That was exactly what I was hoping to see, was price get outside the value area, and really it didn't respect these nodes. It really reverses. Let me see something here. Let's go 60%. Might update the value area to 60%. Just FYI, that's all I do right there. 60%. I really want to consider these two as well. But yeah, damn, we missed that one. Dang. Back to 16 level, and boom, we race off of it. Again. Okay, here we go again. Wow. All right. So that 11 level's pretty strong. Okay. 10, 11, whatever that is. That's the second time we've missed a humongous, potentially good trade here. Okay. So going down to this 07 low doesn't feel like it's what price wants to do. Even though we've got lower price action history down in this 95 level, doesn't feel like it really wants to sit here. And so here goes I'll get an update a little bit. I'll move this one up to 10, that's fine. And now I'm looking at, so I've got the 45 up here as one of the entries. We'll take that one off for now. I want to use that one for something down here. I'm going to try a 36 sell here. So sell one at like 36. So lower volume node, we haven't seen a ton of action here. I have VWAP up here, so if price were to get this, it might go to VWAP immediately. I don't know. I might cancel it, I'm not sure. I'm gonna go to 40, which means I need to take this one off. I'll go 40. VWAP's at 44, so I've got a natural 4-point kind of resistance level up there. I'm gonna try that 17, 18. Okay, now we got some evidence. All right, we'll see. See, I don't know if I don't love that either. Let's see. Close. Ah, super close, no fill. Super duper close. The best thing for an entry is if you can get it, this is just like what I've seen so far, is if you can get your entry on a big candle. So if I'd have gotten that fill like right here, those are the best kinds of entries. Really, you don't want like a brand new candle to open up at your level because you don't know kind of where it's gonna go. But if we could have gotten an entry off of, well, how big was that candle? 26 to 40, so 14 points. Had we gotten our entry off of this one, it would have been money for us to go ahead and capture this move. And I don't know how much of this move I would have caught, but don't be afraid that when you see a huge candle coming down to your entry, those are oftentimes the best ones to get a pullback on. What you don't want to do is put your entry or have your entry hit after a candle closes and it opens up right near your level, and then it pops up and runs around before it ends up going in its direction. So if we can kind of get that like candle exhaustion, so at the very end of that candle's move, you know, that's ideal. Nice. Nice. Yeah, I didn't, 38 felt too aggressive to me, but awesome trade there. I kind of went to that 40 and I almost got a fill, didn't, and it would have been sweet. Good trade there. Really good trade. Yeah, I just missed it. I missed two actually. I missed three. I missed this one, and that one. So I owe myself one. Numbers wise. Chris, what's your, here are my settings right now. 10, 10, 50, 20. So really it's number of bars 50, row size 20. That's what mine are. I think I put that in the chat. I just think 50 gives you a little bit more context. Like too many candles is too much, but too few candles, you kind of get this like not enough context. 18 level again that we were talking about before. All right. Let's see. I don't love this spot, but I'm gonna take a stab at it. Let's see if price can get to my 18 level and bounce. We've been playing with this one. Okay. Not much there. I bet it would have moved a little bit more had I waited a second. All right, so hits the 18. That 15 level is looking like it's gonna be the next one to be hit, which means I'm gonna keep my 10 here. If this one candle can hit my entry, that'd be awesome. This is kind of what I mean here. Oh, we missed it by are you kidding? That's what I mean though, is if we can get price to hit our level off a big extension of a candle, so you know that candle's larger than the previous ones, like we get the chance to get one of those huge pullbacks. That's a 7-point move and we had to do no work for it. And then it's going to continue to go here. Oh, that's beautiful. We just didn't get it again. But like, that's what I mean is if we can get our entry to the point where it's a massive candle comes down, hits it, and then it bounces, like you can't ask for a better. I've caught this type of trade so many times. I just missed it here. My entry was too tight, but these are the best kind. You can make $1,000 on these candles right here, trading three contracts if you can. That's perfect. We just missed it by a hair. Well, I did. You guys might have caught it, but I missed it by a tad. Shit. That was nice. That was beautiful, actually. This is kind of perfect price action is what we want to see is this like winging of price. We get these lower pushes, but we get immediate bounces off. This is what we want to see. These candles are moderately sized for the moves that they're making. Even though the ATR isn't super high, like these candles are pretty, like we're not getting like 10 candles and then it pushes up. It's like 3 or 4. So it's relative, but these are decent sized candles. My entry is right above this wick right here. Maybe I can move it down a smidge. Famous last words, 39 and change. But I'm looking at VGAPS basically being 5 points above. And so if our stop gets hit, which would be about 5 to 6 points, maybe 7 points, then I'm looking at this level, this 53 level, to reclaim some of that. So let's see what price gives us here. Okay. All right, see if we can get price to get to our 39.5 level here. That's where I'm hanging out. All right. So sometimes what I've been noticing as well is, you kind of get one of two things. If you have a real like day of momentum, then you'll get new lower lows. But sometimes you get, I'm gonna take the indicator off for a second. Sometimes you get these like, you don't get as low of lows and you don't get as high of highs. And so this is sometimes where you can miss a few entries this way, which is trying to place an entry like this high is really where we should have had our entry. Like just looking at the screen on the left, right? Not looking at VGAPS. And trying to wait for this high doesn't come true, so we get this one. And trying to wait for this one doesn't come true, so we get this one. And it's kind of vice versa all the way through, right? Honestly, same thing here. Same kind of thing. And so just be cognizant of this. Like, you guys saw me miss this trade basically 3 freaking times. This one, and this one. By trying to go off of these lows, over here that just were kind of obsolete, right? So keep that in mind. You can keep it and say, hey, I'm gonna wait for price to get up to here. I'm gonna wait for price to get down to here. That's fine. You're just going to miss a few entries that are really juicy and really good by doing that. So just keep that in mind. That's something that will certainly happen to you as you trade this more often, is looking for the complete high and low is going to be quite difficult. And so we need to use some of the lower volume nodes to place our trades rather than waiting for complete lows. So hopefully that does help. I'll give you guys some context. All right, nothing shaking right now. I want to be aggressive and move that 10 to 18. I might just throw a 1 in there. Buy at 18. I'm gonna go 18 even. So I'm kind of taking my advice of what I just said, which is kind of calling this area in here the low. Where's my little painting tool? I'm gonna call this right here kind of the gap that I want to use to try and catch a bounce off of. Don't know if we're gonna get it. Price could easily fly through it and hit this level too, which is fine, but we'll see. So now we've got the EMAs pretty flat, and honestly, this is the best price action for us to trade because it's just, it's not going anywhere. But it makes the EMAs pretty much irrelevant. Matter of fact, the more spread out the EMAs are, obviously the more ranging of price you have, so the more movement you've got. That can be harder to trade. So the tighter they are, the better. Let's see if we can get price to just extend, hit, and run back up. All right. Okay, that's what I want to see. Got a point. Small. I don't mind that area though. So we bounced off of that one. Small victory there. 16 level is kind of what I was seeing. So we can buy another one right there. Just a little lower than that for that candle. See if I can do it again. There we go. Sell. Don't love an entry, but whatever. As far as this new candle. Can we get a pop? Ooh, all right. I don't love this entry, so I'm gonna exit if there we go. There we go. small because we're trading small, but super solid there. Same thing as before. So that kind of was what I was saying before, is obviously trying to wait for this 10 level to come back and be relevant may not be the case for 20, 30, 40, maybe an hour. And if it is, then price might be willing to go and retest this 95 level, right? So we might just be too tight. And so placing our entry a little bit tighter gave us a chance to make 100 and or 70, $80 or so. We were up 80, I think it was. So 65 or so. Just trading one contract. All right. 35. Move this one down to 35. Okay. What was that, 16? I'll leave it at 15 and a quarter. I will leave it there. Okay, hanging around, waiting. Oh, no. Okay, we're gonna replay this level again, and I don't love the idea of doing this, but I think there's a good chance that we could get price to push down and maybe into this, like, what is that, 13, 12 area, and then roll back up. Decent chance that can happen. But I got an entry down here too, which is a couple points away. 7 to be exact. 7 and change. So let's see. So 15 and 07 is where I'm looking. But as we get price to continue to compress, like, this is the trend line that I'm looking at here. It might make a lot more sense to do something like, let's see what we got here. That 17, so a couple points higher. But I don't want to deal with this level, so I'm going to go 16. That's kind of what I'm looking at. I don't want to deal with that lower node. All right, let's see if we can get one more trade for today. We can call it. Come on, baby. Price is really fighting, doing absolutely nothing. So coins down a little, meta's up, good. All right, potential push. Okay, so this node here has been a pretty strong support level. I'm looking for it to break and move 4 more points, and we're not getting it. ATR is currently sitting at 6 and 7, so not a movement that we should be expecting, not a ton. So we're not looking to make more than 40 bucks on these trades, maybe $35, honestly, at this point. But price will certainly explode out of this entire range. I might not be around to watch it happen. Okay. Oh, that was close. Every time I look away, something crazy happens. That's absurd. Look how close we were to catching a monster move. All right, so 35 is what I'm looking at. We're 9 points away and change. I don't know if this candle's really a threat to that level just yet, but oh, we could get there. Wow, it happened again. I mean, that just sucks, doesn't it? Okay. Now the candles are picking up a little bit in size. Uh-oh. Let's see. We're gonna get hit here? This is what I want to see. This is the type of candle that I want to have. Man, I'm not gonna keep dealing with this. This is ridiculous. Okay, 14 and a half point candle on this one. That's good. All right, well, that stinks. Nice. Yeah, I've been missing these by a smidge. I'm not sure what it is, but I've been missing a ton of these by less than a point. So I need to lock in. Okay, there it is again. Okay, there's a nice one. I'll watch price for a second. So I got price kind of sloping down here. I kind of expect price to make a somewhat of a push here. Let's go to 14 for a buy. If this doesn't get filled the next candle or two, then we'll be done. But I'm going to go a little lower than 16, even though that would have hit again, I think. I'm going to look at 14 as our level here, and we'll see what it does. I'm going off the true gaps here, the true lines over here. Okay, 16 again, touch and run. That 16 level is strong as shit. I've just been burned just trading the same level multiple times that I kind of learned that lesson. I don't want to repeat it, but would pay off today. If one of these candles runs, I might move my entry to this 30 level. Kind of maybe a little lower. There it is. We're gonna sell. Goodbye. Okay. Let's see. Nope. Not yet. I'm moving it away. Back, not to this previous high, but close to it. So sitting at what, 35? Yeah. reason I got away is my entry was a little bit too close for me. I really wanted to hit on this one candle. We didn't get it. I really don't want to deal with this thing popping down and pushing back up since I wasn't in already. I'm gonna keep my 35 intact because I kind of expect this thing to pop up here. Nice. Yeah, sometimes it just lines up like that where you get just perfect action, and sometimes it absolutely runs past your entry. I've had it run past me a few times and it burns me, and so I'm a little more cautious. But yeah, this was just monstrous. All of this has just been like beautiful. Okay, let's see if our 35 can get touched here. Kind of have price making some movement. Let's see what we got. We'll be in a sell. We'll click buy. Come on. Okay. All right, here goes price. There we go. All right, solid there. Not much to have, but maybe a little more I could have gotten on that one. But solid. All right, plus 200 in this account, plus 200 in another account before we got on. Cool. Solid morning for today. But hopefully this is starting to make some sense. If you guys have questions, obviously just let me know in the Discord and on our private chat. We can chat through just about anything. But that's it. I'll continue to go live and we will continue to catch massive plays. Ideally more plays. Nice. Ideally more plays here. So anyway, I will see you guys tomorrow. We'll hit the ground running and do it all over again. I'll see you guys. Peace.